Welcome once again everyone, it's Nick here back in the hot seat. We're on the ZX Spectrum and as you can see we're looking at the Dukes of Hazzard on the ZX Spectrum 48K, published by Elite Systems in 1985, an 8-bit game which also came out I believe on the Commodore 64. It's based on the TV show where it features the Duke family who are based in Hazzard County, outrunning the law, trying to get away from Boss Hogg and Roscoe Pico Train. It's a TV show from CBS which ran from 1979 to 1985. So here we go, it's the General Lee we pull away in this sort of horizontal racing game. Now bear with me, we've just been shot by a helicopter, which I don't remember happening in the show. But anyway, we control the General Lee car, which doesn't look like the General Lee in this graphic. We can fire stuff like that, we must avoid all traffic, avoid getting shot by the helicopter, boom, and occasionally Boss Hogg might try and catch us up in his police car, we must outrun him. So we must survive a certain amount of time to get to the next stage. Yeehaw, here we go. The General Lee is a 1969 Dodge Charger. Let's see how we can get. Now, the Duke family consisted of Luke and Bo Duke. And there was Jesse Duke, which is the old granddad fella, and Daisy Duke, which was the eye candy of the piece that you couldn't get away with in today's shows. So, the game doesn't look very exciting so far, but it has got a moving helicopter in it, and we've got blown up several times. I do know a poke for infinite lives, and we'll probably be using that quite soon, because I'm not making very good progress. You can jump, there we go, you can fire, and you can go, well, on the upper bit of the road and the lower bit of the road, and you must avoid all of this farm traffic driving along. Got it? Good. Whoa! The Duke boys must have messed up this time for the helicopter police to be up to them. There's the police car there, we've outrun it. By hitting M consistently, the car will speed up. But it's a bit flawed, this game. Collision detection isn't great, and sometimes it's impossible to win, because collision with anything, any of the cars, the helicopter, things firing at you, and you're dead, and sometimes there's no room to go. Right, by slowing down I seem to be able to avoid that helicopter. I was a big fan of the Dukes of Hazzard back in the day as a kid. I fantasised about driving the General Lee car. When they hit their siren it went diddy-diddy-diddy-diddy-diddy, which is great. I think that's General Custer's song, isn't it? Right, MMM, get away from him, right. So, we'll try and get as far as we can on this, but it is very frustrating without a poke on. There's some hillbilly there going by in his souped up truck. Helicopter, fire, go slow enough and they will always miss. I've never been to Hazzard County, but possibly because it does not exist. Did you watch the Dukes of Hazzard? I'm sure you did if you're a similar age to me, or might have seen reruns. Boss Hogg and Roscoe Pico Train. That's the end of us. Now, when Roscoe Pico Train was always after those Duke boys, he'd never catch them. He'd always end up upside down in a river or something like that. But he'd never drown or get seriously injured. And I think his uncle was Boss Hogg. It was a great show. The originals are always the best. 1979 to 1985. No real music in this one. Dukes of Hazzard. Right, okay, right. Time for a poke already, I think, because I'm not going to get anywhere in this. Did you own this game back in the day? Let me know. Elite System did a few TV covers. This one looks like an also-ran. Brum brum. Doesn't really capture the essence of the show, and all the gameplay I think's like this. It doesn't deviate. There's a good jump there. Now, there is an error with this game that if you jump, you will crash into the vehicles on the top bit of the screen, when really, for perspective, that should never have happened in the first place. It's doing pixel detection, really. The pixels add together, although perspective, they never should have crashed. Don't know what that car is coming in the opposite direction. Another problem, which we'll probably come to, if you fire at something, a vehicle in your way and it blows up, the shrapnel quite often, 9 times out of 10, will hit you, and there's no way of avoiding it. Now, watch this. Probably won't happen now. That's blown up. Shrapnel, no chance. Dead. So I would have to say this game, it looks pretty from the screenshots, but it is useless. Playability is not brilliant. There we go. You see my lives aren't going down now, represented by that 3 in green down the bottom there. We'll just try and get as far as we can so I can show you the next level at least to see if it's exactly the same. Spoiler alert, it might be similar. Great. The helicopters only go one way. I think the next stage get replaced with something else. I like that graphic of the helicopter. They should have used that for Airwolf 2 and Blue Thunder and everything. there are some helicopter fans out there, so although the game's rubbish, look, there's a helicopter. Yeah, okay. People that do coding and watch these videos, they might admire some bits of the game that are clever, but yeah, playability is not great. One clever bit I would have to say, I'm grabbing at straws now, if you look at the horizon at the top there, the mountains are going across independently of the sky. I'm not sure the sky's moving at all, but even so, that's clever. And the bit at the front there, you see that grass going by, that's going past quickest of everything, which, so it is trying to give you a bit of a sense of movement. So they thought about that, so well done them. But I'd have to say it's a bit of a waste of a license. You don't see, to my knowledge, any of the characters. It's all in the cars. They never get out. You never get any split screens between each level. So, yeah, it's a bit unimaginative. It could have been any game. I wouldn't necessarily know this is Dukes of Hazzard by looking at it like this. But yeah, it should have been a storyline where Boss Hogg's after you. And there's, after each stage, there's like updates to the story, what you have to do. But there isn't. Yeah, there's the police car. What we're going to do, we're going to hit M a lot. Goodbye, police car. The General Lee Dodge Charger can go much quicker than you. From 1969, that car. Don't know what that thing is across the road. Looks like a souped-up lawnmower. Maybe it is. Yeah. Was there an episode of the Dukes of Hazzard where a helicopter was firing at them? I'm not so sure. One thing as well, whenever the General Lee would do a massive jump, it always cut to a camera angle behind, well, in front of the car coming towards you. It hit a bush for some reason, then do the huge jump. Only because they'd hidden a huge ramp behind the bush and they were trying to trick kids watching that the car could do that naturally. I think Knight Rider might have done that as well. So those were two cars of the time, Knight Rider versus the General Lee. Out of the two of them, the General Lee's cool, I would have thought, but I think I would have found Knight Rider, or Kit as he was known, to be much more useful. And he certainly wouldn't have done lots of somersaults like that. But as a spectacle of games, Knight Rider and this, I'd have this slightly ahead of Knight Rider, only because Knight Rider is so, well, bad. Oops, there we go, let's get to this bit of the road. Hopefully this means we're now getting near the end. So what do you think of this game, if this is the first time you've seen it? Best game of all time, or quite bad, or a middling game? I've got it in a category of middling to bad. There are some bits that are good, I admit, but playability's poor. I mean, that somersault when you die is quite impressive, rather than just having a straight unimpressive explosion. Jumps are tricky to pull off. Wait. Yeah, see, if you hit it even by the merest of pixel, so you need to jump when literally you're on the car's bumper. And that's a bit weird, because you wouldn't do that in real life. Right, we're touching the car's bumper, it's heading straight towards us at speed. Now let's do the jump. That would never happen. That would probably be the correct time in what I did there, but not in the 8-bit ZX Spectrum computer world in the brains of Elite Systems from the mid-80s. Right, avoid the shrapnel, no chance on one road. There we go. Man alive. It needs Daisy Duke to give me some words of encouragement. I don't feel like I'm doing very well. Come on, Daisy Duke. She's not in it. We'll bash that car out of the way. Right, it must be near the end of the level soon, surely. Elite did like putting their name on stuff as a big graphic. Right, 500 metres to go, is that? Do we have to jump over that? The answer to that was yes, you do. Or you end up in Somersault Town. Right, the engine sounds are pretty weedy, but I forgive that on the ZX Spectrum. They're very, very similar on a lot of driving games, because that's the best the 48K could do with its blipper chip. Yes, no, we can't even jump over one car. So the best bit of this game is the scrolling scenery. Yeah, that's not how you'd advertise a game on the front cover. Great scrolling scenery, buy this game. Well, yeah, but what's the... Oh, we done it. Diddly-idiot. Right, no pause, we go to the next level. And it looks like we're by the beach this time. So there's a coastline in Hazzard County. And instead of a helicopter, there's either a UFO or a hot air balloon, which is rubbish to scale. You can jump into the balloon and die. Yeah, so it doesn't evolve at all, does it? It just changes some of the scenery, but essentially the game is exactly the same. Yeah. The longevity of this game is not great. There's not much incentive to get to the next stage, because it's going to be roughly the same. I'll let you into a secret. The next stage is the same as the first stage, but at night time. I think there might be some buildings on the horizon, but that is it. See, I bet you can't be bothered to wait now, but we're not going to get off this stage. We'll just do a little bit to see if anything does change. Maybe let that police car catch up, no chance. But yeah. There's the jump. And see, look, it was supposed to be jumping, but we jumped into the other traffic because the computer can't work out perspective. Well, the computer probably can, the programmers couldn't. Let's see if we can outrun some shrapnel for a change. Here it comes. We got over that bit. We haven't got over that bit. There we go, thought that'd happen. Hit our front wheel and we go flying. All the other traffic's disappeared. It's a nice tarmac road in Hazzard County. I remember in the show there was all like dirt tracks. So they haven't captured that either. Would have liked to have heard a police siren there. They could have done that. Like, the car's right behind me. Is it going to pull me over and the game's over? No. It just seems to be draining our bonus. I don't know what the point of that is. That doesn't work either. Yeah. I think my favourite character of that show, apart from Daisy Duke of course, was Roscoe Pico Train, followed by Boss Hogg. I think they had some rule that the Duke boys couldn't actually cross the county line for some reason, because they was always up to no good, as was sung in that song, The Good Old Boys. If you don't know the Dukes of Hazzard theme music, then YouTube after this, The Good Old Boys. And the good old boys, always up to no good. Da 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 da. Something something Robin Hood. Dee 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 ba ba dee ba da bo. That's enough of that song. Dib da ba dee ba da bo ba ba dee ba da bo. Yeah, it's almost as good as that version. You have to YouTube it. Yeah. Don't put links in the comment section, because links in the comment section always go to spam automatically by YouTube. That's what they do. I don't know if it go against your channel at all. Probably not. Anyway. Oh, we've outrun that star thrown by the little people in that miniature balloon. Or alien starship. Let me know. Is it a balloon? Is it an alien starship? The more people that say balloon, I'll go with balloon. The more people that say alien starship, I'll go with alien starship. Or maybe it's Daisy Duke. It's one of her trinkets. I think we'll leave it there, folks. You've seen all this game has to offer, I'm afraid. So, hope you liked having a look at that one. That was the Dukes of Hazzard on the ZX Spectrum 48K, published by Elite Systems in 1985, and based on the TV show that was run on CBS in the States from 1979 to 1985, so it had a pretty good run. If you've got any comments about this, or any similar games, or TV tie-ins, or anything retro at all, TV or Dukes of Hazzard, then let me know. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.